It's 2013. Los Santos is booming. The freeways are full, and somewhere on a billboard above a 24/7, a cigarette brand is having the best year of its life. Nothing about Redwood feels vulnerable. Nothing about it looks broken. But behind that billboard is one of the messiest brand stories in the entire GTA world. Over 80 legal cases in a single year, a lawsuit experts believed could cost them billions, and somehow, almost nobody talks about it. Today, I'm going through every ad, every sponsorship, every throwaway detail Rockstar left behind, and I'm going to show you exactly how Redwood Cigarettes went wrong, and exactly how I'd fix it. Presenting Redwood Cigarettes, rebranded. What are Redwood Cigarettes? If you've played anything in the HD or 3D universe, you already know the name. Redwood's been a fixture of GTA's world since the early days. Internet ads, TV spots, sponsorships stitched into nearly every corner of the map. But we're not tracing Redwood across every single GTA title today. I'd be here for hours, unless you actually want that. On the surface, Redwood reads as a straight parody of Marlboro. Since the 1950s, Marlboro sold itself as the rugged man's cigarette. Funny enough, it actually launched the opposite way, a premium filtered cigarette marketed at women. So where does that leave Redwood? We're not here to dissect Marlboro, we're here to rebuild Redwood. And that's where the story actually starts getting interesting. The sponsorships. At first, this looked like a simple copy job. Some masculine tones, same visual language Marlboro built decades ago. Until I looked where Redwood was actually spending its money. In the real world, tobacco brands lost this game a long time ago. Marlboro once owned motorsport completely. Cars, tracks, drivers, all branded red and white. Then the regulations came, sponsorship deals collapsed, and you won't find a cigarette logo on an F1 car today. Nobody told Redwood that. Race liveries, the Redwood Lights track, arena war vehicles, dirt bikes, rally cars, billboards on every stretch of the highway leaving the city. In the world of GTA 5, that entire era of tobacco marketing never ended. This is the moment the parody breaks down, because Marlboro and Redwood share an identity, but only one of them still gets to act on it. Which raises a much better question, the wrong comparison. We've been comparing Redwood to the wrong company. In the 2000s, sure, it's a Marlboro clone, but by today's standards, structurally, it's something else entirely. It's Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Think about it. When was the last time you actually saw Red Bull advertise an energy drink? Not a flavor, not any other can, the drink itself. You probably can't remember, but I guarantee you remember this. That's the model. The lifestyle gets sold, and you sell the product through an indirect way. You watch someone do something completely insane, and while your brain is still processing how did he pull that off, the logo's already locked itself into your memory. Anthony, why are we talking about an energy drink? We're supposed to be fixing cigarettes. Well, bear with me. Now, Redwood is basically the same. It's plastered across every corner of Los Santos and every event on the calendar. It's indirect by design, and because this is GTA, it's loud about being indirect. They're not selling the product, they're occupying the places where excitement already exists. Which is totally genius. That's the foundation the rebrand gets built on, which means it's time to explain what actually went wrong, the problem. So job's done, right? Market Redwood just like Red Bull. Okay, roll the credits. Well, no, it's actually not that simple. Because behind the branding, Redwood is sitting on the darkest history of any business the series has ever covered. GTA 5 is set in 2013, and GTA Online runs in the present day. So this rebuild has to work with the world Rockstar actually built, stripping apart the ads, the culture, the consumer habits already baked into it. According to Weasel News, one lawsuit in 2013 had experts predicting Redwood could lose billions.
Okay, you know Redwood Cigarettes?
Sure, the cigarette that built America.
They've rigged a jury to throw a class action lawsuit that would cover the treatment costs of thousands of emphysema sufferers. There are 4 corrupt jurors on Redwood's books. I'll send you the details.
Yeah, billions. That same year, they were already defending over 80 separate legal cases. Oh my god. Most marketers would walk away from that, but I love it, man. It's leverage, and if you've followed anything I've posted in the past, you already know that's basically my whole personality. It seems like every creator right now is leveraging. But here's a twist though. Redwood doesn't have an awareness problem. They have a reputation problem. And the good news is they survive. In modern Los Santos, you can still buy a pack at any 24/7, still see the ads running. They didn't go under, but they're not safe either. They don't carry the same legal restrictions Marlboro does in the real world, but they're one bad headline away from real damage. Before we build anything new, we need to put out the fires. The customer. We know who Redwood is. We know the real world brand they've built on. Now, who are they actually talking to? Rockstar leaves the clues in plain sight. Start with Michael. Pull up his Life Invader profile and he's following Redwood Cigarettes, a wealthy Vinewood resident, and he's not smoking Debonair. Now for context, Debonair is Redwood's direct competitor inside the game. Minimal branding, upper class positioning, supercar sponsorships, and the polished version of this whole category. So why isn't Michael smoking that? Well, matter of fact, because the wealth is a facade. And if you play the GTA 5 storyline, you would 100% agree with me. Then there's Redwood Gold, quietly one of the best ads in the entire game. Vaping is for losers. Real men go for gold. Now, Rockstar didn't hold back on that one, but it's smart. They're not defending cigarettes, they're attacking vaping, manufacturing an enemy inside of making a new claim. They're not chasing a wider audience, they're just locking in a specific type of customer and closing the door on everyone else, which points directly at the real problem, the missed opportunity. This is the biggest gap in Redwood's entire story. They've got recognition, history, culture, motorsport, real events, a loyal audience. Everyone already knows who they are. So why does it feel like they're still at a loss? Because they've handed control of their own perception to everyone except themselves. A handful of in-house ads and their only consistent exposure comes through racing. If they're not already fighting off lawsuits and competitors on every other front, that's not a sustainable position. They need a new narrative.
I love you forever, Redwood Cigarettes!
Smoking is just as fun for kids as it is for parents.
Just burn that, please. Something that channels the same bravery, the same, how did they pull that off, energy Red Bull built an empire on. The same strategy used for Redwood Cigarettes. All right, so let's go through the brand guidelines for Redwood Cigarettes through the creative office. So when we're talking about the business personality, right, let's figure that out together. So Redwood Cigarettes sells cigarettes, right? But they've always been about how they benefited their customer, which is actually kind of funny because they're cigarettes, right? It's going to kill you. It's, I guess, trying to up your status within your community, right? That's why we see masculine tones like cowboys, things like that. And then now through stunts and racing. So I want to take it through more of a personality, more of a community-driven personality. So less on the product, more on the lifestyle. Lifestyle first, okay, and product second. Now onto brand traits within the brand guidelines document, right? So let's figure that out together. So if we think about the brand traits, we're thinking about, high energy, authority-driven, traditional, okay? If we're going for that masculine tone without being like toxic in its masculinity or anything like that, but we're going for more of a brave, courageous standpoint. Like if you get what I mean, we're going for someone that is confident in themselves, and that is who will smoke Redwood Cigarettes. All right, let's go through account inspiration when we're talking about Redwood Cigarettes, powered through the brand guidelines document from the creative office. So we have 2 question marks this time because we are using GoPro and Red Bull. GoPro, which, think of perspective, POV, through the helmet, through the back, through the chest. You can use the example videos that I've made, as well as what I've pulled from Red Bull, right? So that's, again, another example of what we are going to use as account inspiration. Okay, so now let's go through the audience and goals when it comes to Redwood Cigarettes, okay? Now let's figure this out together. When I go through audience and goals for social media, I tend to be building from scratch, okay? We are, picking our target audience for the product or for the service, and then aligning the content strategy to focus on that target audience. And then that's when we create the goals. So we want to hit 1,000 followers with a 10% conversion, right? So 1 out of 10 people that follow eventually do convert. So that's just a pretty brief intro into how I look at audience and goals for my business, for my work. But when we're going through Redwood Cigarettes, interestingly enough, they have decades and decades of pre-existing customers, okay? They have people already shopping and buying Redwood Cigarettes. Now, if I were to compare Redwood and Debonair in terms of popularity within the GTA 5 world, I would say Redwood is the clear winner, just based off the advertisements, all the product placements, everything like that, right? They are seen more throughout the game. And like I mentioned previously, they're going through a lot of different lawsuits, right? This was, 13 years ago, if we're talking about 2013, that might still be the case. So we're taking the pre-existing, we're going to rebrand, and we're going to rebuild. So in terms of audience and goals, it's going to remain, but instead of going for new, essentially rebuild the reputation and keep Redwood Cigarettes front of mind. So the final one, why follow? This is part of the brand guidelines document for the creative office. I believe that this is the most important one, okay? So with Redwood Cigarettes, when we're going for the stunts, we're going for exhilaration, crazy, lifestyle, only daredevils smoke this, like only the coolest of the coolest smoke this without the toxic masculinity. I want to make that very clear. Why follow? Well, the question is really, why not? Why not follow? Why shouldn't you? You want the viewer to answer that question pretty much essentially, why wouldn't you follow? Okay, we want to give them more reasons to follow than not. Okay, so instead of us trying to find a reason why these people should follow, it should be why not, right? Redwood Cigarettes, they sell cigarettes which, can lead to lung cancer and things like that, right? Really, really deadly things, harmful things to do with your body. But when you tie it with exhilaration, it's cool, it's crazy. So why not follow? Because you don't want to miss what Redwood puts out. Product or advertising.